Joining us right now from ANB Soccer Academy Technical Director Bassan Naim. Bassan, welcome, my friend.
Thank you, Anthony. Happy New Year.
And to you as well. It must be a happy day, a special day for ANB Academy. A lot of work went into this special day, and this special player, Adonijah Reid, becomes the 2017 generation Adidas Canada player for MLS. What a moment. Talk about it. What was going through your mind when you got the official news and everything that was going through your mind in the academy?
Anthony, it's been a long time coming. We've been working with this young man on different levels for the last close to 6 years. We're extremely excited. We're excited for him. We're proud of him, and we hope that he represents his academy, his country, and himself very well in the combine and go from there. We've been kind of privy to some information that's happening behind the scenes slowly, where MLS is starting to identify him that way in the last few weeks, and we've been making sure that this moment will come, and we're very, very excited for him, as I said.
And it's a great day for your academy. It's a great day for Ontario and a player like Adonijah Reid, because he is being identified, as you said, from MLS. They've kept tabs on him, and this is fantastic. Go back 6 years ago, Bassan. When he first came to your academy, obviously you could see something special there that he had, but things that he needed to work on. What were the things he worked on to get better as a player?
Well, let's start from the beginning. When he came over, I would say quite a bit of natural gift, lots of speed, but needed to be sharpened. It's what we call maximizing talent. I think the young man has certain talents in him. They're very natural. We identified that from day one, and we worked on him on how to become an attacking role in terms of understanding certain tactical scenarios, when to do certain things, which part of the field to do it. So that's been a lot of few years of work. He's traveled quite a bit extensively to Europe as well, and he's been identified previously with European clubs, where they as well gave us tips on what to work with him, and we've done that, and we're glad that it's been paid off today, or in the last couple of days, or in the last period of time, where the MLS has been, has identified him as Adidas generation, Adidas Canada, as the youngest player as well.
Bassan, let's go back, I think, about a year or so ago in League One Ontario as a 16-year-old. If I'm not mistaken, he was the co-winner of the Golden Boot as a 16-year-old. This was unbelievable. I remember watching this young man and mentioning to the commissioner, Dino Rossi, there, this kid has blazing speed, but he has a mind that is still developing for the game, and he is, to me, a man in a young boy's body, and almost complete. Your thoughts?
Naturally unpredictable in terms of talent. Certain stuff will come out and will come out more, and that's given, God given to him, I guess. He lethal from any area of the field, and more so, he's someone, he will put the ball in the net, and most importantly, he will put the ball in the net when it counts.
Bassan, let me ask you this. Obviously, this is an important time for your academy, an important moment in the history of your academy, but it also reinforces what you have been doing and the philosophy you have when players come through those doors at ANB Academy. Tell us a little bit about that philosophy. Tell us a little bit about what the goals are for you, for every player that comes through there to achieve once they leave. Not just for this special day, but for all the players.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that question. We are a flat organization. What that mean? That means we work from the 7 years old to the oldest age, which is 99 age category, U17 this year, in the same manner. Now, we've been with League One, as you know, a couple of years before on the men's level. Unfortunately, we had some difficulties, and we're not there, but who knows, the future always, you never know in the future. Having said that, we work with all our players from 7 years old to 17 years old in the same philosophy. It's age-related training, is based on a European model that tweaked into the Canadian maple syrup mentality, if you want to call it, because we live in Canada. But obviously all our technical, tactical, psychological, mental, and physical work comes from a European model, specifically the French model. And we apply it. We train our coaches to coach these players in the same methodology from 7, 8, all the way to 16, 17 years of age. So not only Adonijah is going or went through that process, other players, but as we know, that very few will be eventually will end up on the top of the pyramid. And that's the reality of football.
Lastly, Bassan, very quickly before we let you go, we appreciate you leaving a meeting to join us. But I was talking with a couple coaches during the Christmas break, one from Italy and one from Portugal. And the one from Italy is the Academy Director of a Serie A team. And he was marveling at his time here in Canada in the couple weeks, just taking him to see some of the young talent that I could. And he was just, so surprised at the raw talent, the ability of some of these young Canadian kids, that he was saying to me, Anthony, he says, they just need a little bit of European air, European mentality, and they have everything that we have over there. Is that what you see when you bring kids over there to France and Europe?
Our Canadian kids from the ages of 7, 8 till around 14, 15, they are no different than practically the European one. Now, obviously, in Europe, there could be few that are above the rest, but that's a worldwide selection. Our Canadian kids are technically sound. Tactically, the area where they struggle is most probably is the tactical area. And I think what we have, Anthony, a problem is we have good youth foundation, but then when it counts, the game does not have the professional league. Canada needs a professional league, a Canadian, no disrespect to the MLS, with all my respect to the MLS and what they've done. We need our own professional league where our own Canadian players are given opportunities and paid as well. That's another area altogether by itself where they have to understand or feel that they are rewarded for the hard work and their abilities, like it is in the rest of the world. And we need a professional league, a Canadian professional league, whereby these youngsters, these youngsters are able to do their trades, because it becomes a job. It starts as an activity, then becomes a love, then it turns into a job in the future. Once you hit 17, 18, and you're talented and you're gifted, you become a professional in the game. It is a job. You go every day to train so you can produce. And that's lacking big time in our country. We need it, and we need it urgently. And I am certain and confident that we will have enough players that will adapt to it. Another thing that we have, Anthony, if I may, as well, Canada has a great life, a standard of life. Does not sometimes help us. Our youngsters receive everything. They have everything, access to everything, from computers to the world news to the latest and the greatest in terms of football, cleats, equipment, and the rest of it. And I think sometimes that hurt us because they don't realize that they have to work. They have to work day in and day out to become better players. Where everything is given, sometimes that takes away from that environment. And unfortunate, but even though we say that, I believe that with a professional league, the selected few, and that's reality of football, as I said before, they will go up, and the cream will rise to the top, la crème de la crème, like they say in French. Having said that, I know you're on time restriction, and I thank you for bringing me in. I'd like to thank this initiative between the MLS, Major League Soccer, the Canadian Soccer Association, to come in with this idea, the Adidas Generation or Generation Adidas Canada. I think that's a great initiative. I congratulate them for that initiative, and I hope more Canadian players will be identified in years to come, not just from ANB, from all over the country. I think we all need it, and we need to credit everyone that's doing something for Canadian players to get somewhere until we get this professional league one day here in Canada.
Bassam, beautifully said, and I can guarantee you this, Bassam, as I let you go, I can guarantee you this. There will be a Canadian league based coast to coast. I will guarantee you it will happen, and there will be an announcement in the next little while. I can guarantee you we will have our own Canadian league for our Canadian players, our Canadian coaches, for our Canadian people. You can make sure that will happen. I give you my word, it will happen. But Sam, congratulations again on all the work you did, all the coaches did on this young man's journey that is just beginning. And we wish you and ANB all the success in the world, my friend. Thanks for taking time.
Anthony, I thank you again. I just wanted to thank Global Premier Management for as well helping us as the official agent for Adonijah Reid, and they've done a great work behind the scene, and hopefully we'll continue finding young players like that and bringing them up to the surface and hopefully to the pro level.